The Manananggal is a supernatural creature from Philippine folklore, usually described as a woman who appears ordinary, sometimes beautiful, during the day. It is important to note that she is not one specific person, but a type of monster belonging to the broader family of creatures known as Aswang. The name comes from the Tagalog word tanggal, meaning to remove or to separate, referring to the creature's ability to separate its body at the waist. At night, the Manananggal separates his body from its waist, grows bat-like wings, and flies through the darkness looking for pregnant women. It then uses its long tongue to rip the pregnant women apart, and it consumes their blood, organs, and fetus. While it hunts, it separates the top half of her body from the bottom. The bottom remains intact on the floor and she flies away. It is said that in order to defeat the Manananggal, you need to destroy the legs before sunrise. The Manananggal is a popular folklore in the Philippines. Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia also have their own similar versions of these tales. In their version, a woman without the bottom half of her body hunts for pregnant women at night to feed on their unborn. Perhaps Aswangs are more than just folk tales. Mara was 7 months pregnant when she and her husband, Rey, moved into his late grandmother's house in San Isidro. The house stood at the edge of a small village in the Visayas, where the concrete road narrowed into dirt and the coconut trees leaned over their roofs like watchful figures. It was an old wooden home raised on posts, with capiz shell windows, dark hardwood floors, and a rusted tin roof that groaned whenever the wind came in from the fields. Rey loved the place. It just needs a little work, he told her. Mara was not as enthusiastic. The house smelled of dust, dried herbs, and something faintly sour that seemed to come from inside the walls. At night, the rooms became so quiet that she could hear insects crawling beneath the floorboards. Still, the village was peaceful. The neighbors brought rice, fruit, and warm bread. An elderly woman named Aling Rosa visited on their first afternoon at the house and stared at Mara's stomach for a long time. "You should close every window before midnight," she said. Rey laughed. "Mosquitoes?" Aling Rosa did not smile. "Not mosquitoes," she said. She reached into her bag and handed Mara a small pouch filled with salt, garlic, and crushed ginger. "Keep this beside your bed." Mara thanked her, but Rey called it superstition. That night, he placed the pouch in a kitchen drawer. 3 nights later, the hunting began. Mara woke shortly after 2 in the morning. Rey was asleep beside her, breathing heavily. For several seconds, she did not know what had disturbed her. Then she heard it, a shuffling, almost pitter-patter-like sound from above. Something was moving across the roof. At first, Mara thought it was a cat. The village had dozens of them, thin animals that wandered beneath houses and fought in the darkness. But this sound was too heavy, and the roof bent slightly beneath the weight. It moved from one end of the house to the other, then stopped directly above the bedroom. Mara held her breath. A drop of liquid struck the outside of the window, then another. Tap, tap, tap. Someone or something was at the window. She sat up slowly. The curtain fluttered even though the window was closed. Outside, the night was moonless. The coconut trees were black shapes against a darker sky. Something hung upside down from beneath the edge of the roof. At first, Mara saw only hair. Long strands swayed in front of the glass. Then a pale face lowered into view. It was a woman. Her eyes were large and unblinking. Her mouth stretched into a smile that showed rows of narrow teeth. Mara could not scream. The creature's body ended at the waist. Below it hung bloody organs and rope-like entrails. twisting in the night air. Two enormous wings opened behind her with a sound like wet fabric snapping. The woman pressed her face against the window. Her tongue slid from her mouth, a long, thin, dark tongue. It tapped against the glass, and then it traced a circle over Mara's reflection. Mara finally screamed, which woke Ray up, and he turned on the bedroom light. The face had vanished. The entire house shook as enormous wings beat above it and flew away. Ray rushed to the window, but there was nothing outside, only a dark smear across the glass, and beneath it, written by a fingertip in the moisture, Mara. Ray insisted it had been a nightmare, but the next morning they found deep claw marks in the tin roof. Aling Rosa came as soon as Mara sent for her. When she saw the marks, the old woman crossed herself. Manananggal, she whispered. Ray sighed. That's a story told to scare children, he said. Aling Rosa looked at him sharply. No, it is a story told to keep people alive. She explained that the creature looked human during the day. At night, it separated its upper body from its lower half and grew wings. It hunted quietly, searching for sleeping victims. Pregnant women were said to attract it most. Mara touched her stomach. She thought she felt the baby kick harder than usual. Aling Rosa closed every window herself. She placed salt along the sills and hung garlic near the doors. If it has chosen this house, she said, it will return. For 2 days, nothing happened, and Ray began to relax. On the third evening, a storm swept across the village. Rain hammered the roof. The electricity failed just after midnight, leaving the house lit only by a kerosene lamp. Ray went outside to secure a loose shutter, leaving Mara alone in the bedroom. She heard a soft voice beneath the floor. Mara! She froze. The voice sounded like Ray. Mara, help me! She stood. The voice came again, weaker now. I fell. Mara lifted the lamp and moved onto the hallway. Ray? She yelled out, almost like she did not believe it was him she was speaking to. No answer came from outside. Instead, the voice rose directly underneath her feet. Open the floor. Mara stepped back. The boards creaked. Something scratched from below. Then came a baby's cry. Thin, distant, wrong. Mara's stomach tightened. The crying grew louder until it seemed to fill up the entire house. She dropped to her knees and stared through a narrow gap beneath the floorboards. At first, she saw only darkness. Then an eye opened beneath the house. It stared up at her, the pupil narrowing. Mara stumbled backward as a long gray hand pushed between the boards. Its fingers bent at impossible angles, clawing at the floor. The baby's crying stopped. A woman's voice whispered from below, "Let me hold it." The floor rose an inch. Just enough for Mara to see strands of black hair pressing through the cracks. Then the creature began pulling itself upward. Mara grabbed a pouch Aling Rosa had given her and tore it open. She threw salt and crushed garlic across the floor. A scream exploded beneath the house. The sound was so loud that the lamp flame went out. The floor dropped back into place. Something crawled rapidly through the mud below, striking the wooden posts as it fled. Ray burst through the door moments later, soaked from the rain. Mara told him what had happened. This time, he believed her. They spent the rest of the night inside the village chapel. At sunrise, they returned with Aling Rosa. Beneath the house, they found deep tracks in the mud. The prints began as human hands. Then they changed into the talons of a bird. Aling Rosa looked towards the forest. It sleeps somewhere during the day, she said. Its lower body will be hidden nearby. Ray understood, remembering the story he was told as a child. If we find the body, we can stop it. Aling Rosa nodded. Before sunset, she said. They searched abandoned sheds, old wells, and empty huts. Near dusk, Mara found a trail of dark stains leading into a ruined house at the edge of the sugarcane field. Inside, behind a broken cabinet, sat the lower half of a woman's body. It stood upright, motionless, waiting. Rey stepped forward with a sack of salt. Before he could reach it, the sun disappeared behind the trees. From far above came the beating of wings. They ran away with the ashwang flying behind them. Its shadow passed over the fields, enormous and silent. Rey locked the doors while Aling Rosa spread salt across the windows. Mara stood in the center of the bedroom, clutching a wooden crucifix. The baby kicked violently. Then the roof exploded inward. Wood and dust rained down. The creature dropped into the room. Its wings filled the ceiling. Its face looked different now. Not pale, not dead, but familiar. Mara recognized the woman who sold vegetables near the chapel. She had smiled at Mara every morning. She had once touched her stomach and said that the baby would be beautiful. Now her mouth opened far wider than a human mouth should. The creature lunged. Rey swung a wooden chair, striking one wing. Aling Rosa threw garlic into his face. The Manananggal screamed and climbed across the wall like a spider. Its long tongue snapped toward Mara, but Mara was able to duck the blow. The tongue struck the bedpost and coiled around it. Rey seized a bolo from the kitchen. He brought the blade down, cutting the tongue. Black fluid splashed across the wall. The creature shrieked and slammed into the floor. Mara backed toward the window. The salt line had been broken. The Manananggal saw it. It smiled. Then it crawled toward her slowly. "Your child already knows my voice," it whispered. Mara's fear became anger. She grabbed a kerosene lamp and threw it at the creature. Flames spread across one wing. The Manananggal screamed and crashed through the wall, falling into the yard. Outside, dawn had begun to brighten the horizon. The creature tried to fly toward the ruined house where its lower body waited. Rey and Aling Rosa chased it through the field. Mara followed, despite the pain in her back. They reached the ruin just as the Manananggal descended. Its lower body stood behind the cabinet. The creature stretched its arms towards it, but Rey had thrown the sack of salt and it burst across the exposed waist. The Manananggal struck the salt and recoiled as it had lit fire. The first ray of sunlight crossed the field. The creature screamed. Its wings curled inward. Its skin cracked. Black smoke poured from its mouth as it clawed desperately towards the waiting body. But the sun rose higher. The Manananggal collapsed into ash. Its lower half fell beside it. For several minutes, no one spoke. Then Mara felt the baby move. A slow, gentle kick. Months later, she gave birth to a healthy daughter. They named her Rosa.